Hey guys, welcome back to Film Wish. Today we'll talk about the 7 worst, most shocking Big Brother double crosses, backstabbings, betrayals. Let's head into it. 7. When Jennifer evicted Casar after he gave up the H2H to her. Casar returned to the game in Season 6 when fans voted him back in for a second shot. His poor luck, however, was not going to end. After a 14-hour endurance challenge, he allegedly struck a deal with his adversary Jennifer and relinquished the head of household. She of course then turned on him. She put him on the market and he was evicted for the second time before he could even unpack his belongings. It's just another example of how in the Big Brother house, the most heinous of betrayals are frequently heaped upon individuals who have placed too much faith in others, particularly their house adversaries. Also, make sure to write your thoughts in the comment section. 6. When Marcellus was voted out after failing to use the veto on himself. A word of advice: never ever win a veto and then not use it on yourself if you're on the block. Marcellus made this error while sitting next to his best friend Amy in the 3rd season. He even stated in his speech that he knew his family would be watching and begging him to use the veto, but he didn't.
My mama, they're sitting at home and they're like, use the veto, fool! I'm not going to use it.
Meanwhile, the vote was tied, and the tiebreaker vote resulted in his removal, leaving Marcellus stunned as she walked out of the door. His choice is not just one of the series' most heinous betrayals, but it's also one of the stupidest. 5. Chilltown manipulations. Chilltown, composed of Dr. Will, Mike Boogie and Shannon, was regarded as one of the finest alliances on the show, continuously manipulating and betraying their fellow house guests throughout the entire 2nd season.
I go in front of the entire house guest group and I say, I hate you all. No one voted even against me. Everyone voted against Jace.
Dr. Will finally won the entire season, but Mike won the All-Star season when the two competed again and resurrected the alliance. Chilltown's list of heinous betrayals is long, but it includes bribery, phony alliances, and in the resurrected form in All-Stars, basically using Janelle as a shield, keeping her in the house so she would stay the target instead of them while they seemed to be allied with her. Will even tried to persuade Shannon that he was dying of cancer when he was not. 4. When Janelle and Erica caught onto Chilltown. When Mike Boogie and Dr. Will revived their Chilltown alliance in Season 7, they renamed it Operation Double Date and brought in new members Janelle and Erica.
Erica is under the impression that if we can get to the final 3, that I will take her to the finals. That ain't happening.
Of course, their primary allegiance was to one another. However, the girls eventually realized that they were being manipulated and turned the script to execute their own betrayal, voting out Will. Erica subsequently turned on Janelle, throwing the final head of household battle, which resulted in Mike evicting Janelle and ultimately winning the game. 3. When Dustin volunteered himself to be a pawn. Pawns always return home. This is one of those Big Brother regulations that every fan should be aware of, and while this isn't the case, it is occasionally. As a result, never volunteer to be one. Someone should have told Dustin this in Season 8 when he did just that, put himself on the hot seat with his adversary Evil Dick. But in a cruel betrayal, Eric, who was named America's player, switched sides, siding with Dick and his daughter Danielle, and Dustin was utterly caught off guard when Julie Chen mentioned his name. Evil Dick and Danielle were the season's final 2, and Evil Dick won. 2. Jeff's coup d'etat. Even though he had no clue what it meant or how to say it, Jeff was given the coup d'etat special ability in Season 11, which enabled him to topple the head of household, remove the 2 candidates, and replace them with 2 of his own. While he took advantage of it, it irritated Chima, who had initially put up her nominations and felt betrayed not just by Jeff, but also by the game as her HOH reign was practically rendered useless. She had a nervous breakdown, kicking up a fuss and throwing her microphone into the hot tub, which resulted in her ejection from the game. 1. When Dan used Danielle and Shane. There's a reason Danielle referred to Dan as Judas. He befriended the naive girl during a season when he was only meant to be a mentor, but once he was officially recognized as a player, he began to exploit her trust in the background. He persuaded her to remove him from the ballot and replace him with Shane, her own supporter, saying that he would vote out Ian instead. Dan got Danielle and Shane on board with the idea, then fired Shane, much to Danielle's surprise and rage.
Told me there's something big in this house. You're gonna have one shot to break up, and this is that shot. So Shane, I'm sorry I have to evict you.
Dan proceeded to stab Danielle in the back once again before sending her packing. But in the end, he lost to Ian, so he could have been better off keeping Shane in the game. What do you think about these betrayals? Which one was the worst? Let us know in the comment section. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure that you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.